Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Peace be to you, my friends. Ego covers up the soul. The soul is always present. It has to be. But most of the time, the ego covers up the soul. It's like we are blinded from the truth. We are blinded from a great experience of life because of the ego. Now, ego doesn't necessarily just mean arrogance or boastfulness. That is an expression of the ego, but ego simply means a fearful thought, or a better way to put it, a sense of self, an identity of the self, where yourself is dependent on the idea of I am the body. The soul doesn't identify with the body. It lives in it, it allows it to live, but it doesn't identify with the body. It doesn't say I am this, I'm this body. The ego doesn't know any better. It manifests because of this idea of I am the body. And so it is always seeking to protect itself. So because of that, it's always fearful. If you observe your thoughts, you'll see that most of them are ego-based, egocentric, ego-dominated thoughts. Why is this? Because of this idea of I am the body. Now, obviously, when we live in this world, we have to live with this body. There's no choice. The Creator created us to live this way. But we don't have to be controlled by the ego. If you remember that ego is nothing but fearful thoughts, ego is nothing but a limited sense of identity, then you can transcend the ego and merge into your soul. In this life, we have to let our soul live. We can't live for the ego. The ego wants things to enlarge itself, to make itself feel better. But the soul knows what you truly want and need. The soul is connected to God. So let the light in. Transcend your ego. Observe your thoughts and don't identify with them. Meditate on this. Every time I'm in my head, I'm living as an ego, and that's a limited way to live. You have to understand that this way of living that most people live is limited. It's not fulfilling. That's why most people are not happy. Even if you follow all the promises that the world gives you, that this will make you happy, that will make you happy if you get it, if you work hard enough. Even if you follow that and get everything, then you won't be fulfilled. We see that all the time. So when are we fulfilled? When we live from the soul. What does the soul want to do? It wants to give. And if you don't like the word soul, use spirit. Use your true self. It's your true self. It's who you really are. You're not this body. You're not just merely a person running around with desires and fears, trying to achieve something beyond yourself. You are life. So act like it. Don't live in this fearful mode, in this survival mode, trying to get something out of everyone and everything just to feel happy, when in reality, happiness is your natural state. But in order to experience happiness as your natural state, you have to remove the veil, remove the mask of personhood, see through the facade of the ego, and just understand that your soul just needs to be present. Nourish your soul. Do things that nourish your soul. Obviously, take care of your body. I'm not saying disregard it. We've been given this body and we have a responsibility to take care of it. But understand that most of your troubles, most of what you are worried about has to do with your body. In one way or another. It comes down to that. But you are not this body. So why should we live so overly concerned with something that we're not. Doesn't mean we disregard it. We take responsibility for it, but we live from a place of truth rather than from a place of deception. From a place where we're trying to control and manipulate life just to get our way. Always remember this: ego covers up the soul. Ego covers up the soul. Ego covers up the soul. Where do I want to live from? I want to live from the soul. I want to live as my soul. I don't want to live as an ego, as fearful thoughts, in survival mode. I was not made for that. I was made for more, and so are you. This should be your mentality. So always remember, ego covers up the soul, and set the intention: I want to live from pure spirit. I don't want to live so self-centered and absorbed in myself. Doesn't mean that you won't have thoughts that have to do with your self-image and identity and things that have to do with your concerns and your welfare and whatever. These thoughts will come, but you have nothing to do with these thoughts. You are way more than these limiting things that you identify with. Best believe. Start living from a place of soul by nourishing your soul. See through the facade of the ego. Transcend fearful thoughts. And tap into the frequency of love. That's where your soul lives and thrives. Tap into the frequency of love where you can be a giver. And when you're a giver, you receive. You receive in a way that nourishes your soul, that makes you feel fulfilled. But if you're always going through the process of trying to make your ego happy and satisfied, you'll never get there because it will never be satisfied. That's my message for you today. Thank you for listening. If you would like further help and guidance, I offer a consultation service. If you want to do a one-on-one coaching session with me, I'd love to help you out. Please get in contact with me if you're interested. More information is in the description box below. And if you love to read, I have 2 amazing fiction books that are available on Amazon. Check them out. More information is in the description box below. Peace. Let go. Nourish your soul. Let it live. Be free.